Okay, what's up guys, DS3 TV here, and I'm here to watch this video that was recommended to me by a subscriber, Azfk. So yeah, this should be a pretty good video. They said they're kind of like OSP and a mix of OSP and Salmonella, so let's get into it. And this is the first video I saw because they said check out the channel, and I just kind of said okay, so this is kind of something that caught my eye, and yeah, so let's get into it. Zombie mind control parasites. Alright, and play.
Do you like nature? Do you like zombies? Do you love the feeling of having internal parasites, but you want to make sure the animals of the world don't miss out? If this sounds like you, that's great. Let's take a look at some of nature's own parasitic mind-controlling abominations. Let's start with the zombie parasite everyone knows and loves. If you've played The Last of Us, the infection in-game is based on a real-life fungus. Cordyceps is a parasitic species of fungi that is most famous for decimating ant colonies in a devious way. The infection starts when an ant makes contact with a cordyceps spore. The spore quickly develops into a network of fungus throughout the body of the ant. The fungus then floods the ant's brain with chemicals, compelling it to go to a high-up area where conditions are perfect for the cordyceps. The ant clamps down in a death grip to a leaf or a branch with its jaws, and cordyceps tentacles grow out of the head of the ant for about 3 weeks. The tentacles have the—
Oh my gosh, yeah, it does look like the disease from from The Last of Us.
These little sacs on them filled with spores. The sac then releases spores, spreading the infection to the other ants. Cordyceps have shown the ability to wipe out entire ant colonies, and there are over 600 species of cordyceps that affect different insects. Basically, an entire ant civilization dies a horrid death because of dire brain manipulation via cordyceps. Imagine, if you will, you are a snail going about your business and you encounter a large bird turd. Obviously, because you are a snail, you proceed to eat as much of the bird shit as you possibly can. Unfortunately,
I love how he's advertising this. And yeah, this is kind of like Salmonella, honestly.
all of the bird shit you just ate contained eggs of a worm known as Leucochloridium. Who would have guessed that consuming another animal's feces would have unintended consequences? The eggs hatch, and the worm goes through its life cycle inside the snail's digestive system. When they're in their full adult form, they move up inside the eye stalks of the snail and begin to bloat the eye stalks by filling them with fluid. The worm then changes the snail's behavior by manipulating its brain. It makes the snail wander out into the open and look like a sitting duck in the sun for birds to eat. Usually, birds don't like snails very much. You are what you eat, and they taste like bird shit. To make sure birds want to eat the snail, the worms pulsate inside the eye stalks. This movement, along with the striped color of the worm, closely mimics a caterpillar, which are renowned in the avian world as a delicacy. When the bird eats the snail, the worm then lays its eggs in the bird's bowels, restarting the cycle all over again. A part of this that might not have occurred to you is that when a snail gets infected with this worm, it's because it ate the shat-out remains of another snail, who ate the shat-out remains of another snail, who ate the shat-out remains of another snail, and it could go on like that forever until the parasite first evolved. Nothing astounds me quite like the natural world. The next abomination on the list is the hairworm. These worms are usually encountered inside crickets. They start as an egg in the river where they hatch into a larva that is then eaten by a mayfly larva. The hairworm then buries into the mayfly's flesh and waits for it to become an adult. When a cricket eats an adult infected mayfly, the hairworm transfers to the cricket. The worm begins to eat all of the stored fat and non-vital parts of the cricket. The hairworm then starts to control the mind of the cricket. Crickets usually avoid bodies of water because they're horrible at swimming, but the hairworm can only lay eggs in water, so it makes the cricket seek out water. Once in the water, the hairworm wriggles its way out of the cricket's backside. One cricket can have more than one hairworm, and sometimes hairworms mate with each other while they are leaving the body of the cricket. If you thought your sex was kinky, you can't say shit unless you fucked someone while you're both halfway inside someone else's blown out asshole. The last
That sounds kinky.
horrific life form on our list is the humpback fly. The humpback fly is exactly the size of an ant's head for a very specific reason. This fly reproduces by injecting a single egg into the thorax of an ant with its sharp ovipositor. The egg hatches and the larva moves to the head and eats the entire contents of it slowly, including the brain. As the larva eats the brain, the ant begins to wander around aimlessly until it dies of dehydration, at which point the larva takes up the entire space of the ant's head and begins to pupate. In pupation, the pupa excretes a chemical which degrades the ant's head's attachment to its body, and the head falls off. The pupa develops in the head until it is ready, and then an adult fly emerges from the ant's head and starts the life cycle all over again. The total development time for this horror show is 1 to 3 months, all for this stupid tiny fucking fly to live 3 to 5 days, shit eggs inside more ants, and then die. If you like this video, subscribe and drop a like so I'm closer to
I would be so mad. Like, honestly, ants are really getting the bad end of all these deals, honestly.
getting a special sticker from an algorithm. Also, Amoeba got his own fan art. He loves them, and he says you are now his favorite. We got a member of the cult called Rocky Dog 9021. Even out that like ratio on that video. That adrenochrome video actually has one of the lowest like to dislike ratios on the entire...
Okay, so he's just talking about his channel for a little bit. But yeah, talk to you guys in the next video. Also subscribe to the channel. Want to get 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, September 13th. And also recommend me more videos. I actually like Azfk. Recommend me more videos by him or by anybody that you like. And yeah, talk to you guys in the next video, and peace.